Hey everybody, Bill Hilly Biker back at you. After I did my first little introduction clip there, I figured I'd expand on that a little bit. I had a couple things I wanted to put out there, and I wrote them down. So there's a couple things I mentioned in that video. Was one my Honda Shadow that I was hit on. I wanted to just kind of go over that a little bit. I wanted to show you my bike. I wanted to show you that bike because I love that bike. And I kind of wanted to go over my gear and stuff. And I might have the gear in the closet here. Perhaps I'll look real quick. But I know I got my leather there, and I just wanted to perhaps show you on camera. Actually how my gear held up in that crash. So I thought that would be pretty interesting. I still use that gear because let me tell you, at 70 miles an hour you would not believe how well my leather's held up, considering you know what could have happened. It was unbelievable how your safety gear can save your life, and it did. So let me show you a picture of my Honda Ace. This was me. This is a cool place that we go to. Here, it's really, yeah. Let me try to get the glare. Sorry, I'll get some better lighting in here. Oh, hold on a second. Let me do this. Let me try to do this here. This might be a little better. No, maybe that might have made it worse. But anyways, that's my Ace 750. That's a place up here where it's the old gas station up here, and it's mid-Michigan up here. It's a cool little place everybody likes to go. So there's my Ace. It's a 2000. It's still out there in the garage. Probably gonna sell it because it just doesn't work with what I'm doing right now. So in the gear, sorry, I should have had this already ready. This was the helmet I was wearing when I got in my accident, and this was the right side there. That was, boy, it's hard to see, but you can kind of see the thickness of the helmet, how thick it was, and then the flatness right there. It's again, I don't know exactly how I landed, but obviously I landed on my head right there, and it saved my life. That helmet right there. That's the third time a helmet has saved my life. 2 other times were out in the dirt. Once straight into a tree. Helmet saved my life. But that's my helmet. And then let me try to get this out of here. And then what we got here. Let me move this chair. Boy, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, this was my leather that I had on, and you can see that just got a little rub there. I mean, it's got some rub here. Some stitching had to be done because it literally just wore the threads off, and it opened up that way. But I've had it restitched now, and that's basically a little bit on the arm down there, you can see, but I mean, it's solid. It's just scuffed. It's got a permanent scuff, and I don't mink oil this stuff. I keep this. This is my here. I'll show you this while I got it up. This is my Road Captain. I'm a lifetime hog member now. And this is your mile banners that add up. And here's my cut, Crossroads Hog Chapter, and there's that's it. But I wanted to show you mainly how that held up. And my chaps are the same way. My chaps just got a little, like, mainly like this, all the way down, and that's it. And it just scuffed, you know. It's amazing how this leather held up. It's good quality leather. It's not the cheap stuff, but that just proved that, you know, the leathers aren't just for keeping you warm and stuff. It's actually a piece of safety equipment, and that's what I tell people all the time. You know, how do you wear that when, you know, I tend to shed some of that when it gets warmer. I always have my cut on. And I'm going to look into some of these Kevlar jeans, so that way when I'm not wearing my chaps. But generally, typically, anytime I'm on the freeway, even before my accident, I would wear my leathers, because you keep cool enough when you're moving. So I just wanted to show you that. As far as, you know, it's proof's in the pudding. Right there, it's the helmets save your life. The medics, the EMS that showed up, they literally said if I wouldn't have been wearing my leathers because of how the bone extruded through the arm, it would have ripped my arm off. Plus, you know, the ground alone would have been just a road grader. You know, basically just rub you right down to nothing. So I had my gloves on, everything. I mean, so granted, I was broke, and you know, it could have been worse, but my leathers and my helmet saved my life. So I just wanted to show you that, you know, my bike. I made a comment on that, you know. And then I mentioned with me purchasing the bike, it also, with that, they give me a free 1-year hog membership, and also a 1-year hog membership to the local hog chapter, which was that hog chapter I showed you with the patch there. I'm a member of Crossroads hog chapter in Brighton, Michigan, out of that dealer. So I bought the bike in December. I attended the first meeting in January, and from day one I was blown away by, for one, how many members were actually there participating. It was 40 to 50. I mean, right off the bat, that were in attendance at this meeting. I mean, and it was an hour early before the meeting, just for the breakfast, and it was jammed. So right from day one, everybody was friendly. Everybody was really nice. I loved, you know, some of the things I was hearing. And I'm not like a big social, you know, junkie out there. I don't, you know, I don't need to hang out in big groups and things like that. And never really in my riding, except, you know, some bigger groups out in the woods. My street riding was, you know, 2-3 other bikes. That was it. Now it's into the 20s, 30s, and 40 bikes at a time. It is unbelievable, and everybody's on the same page. Everybody's doing the same thing. So when I first got into this, they were offering at the time, because it was at the beginning of the season, like it is now. This year, this is the following year. They had different classes, like there was CPR, there was accident scene management, but they also had they had this group ride orientation and road captain orientation. The group ride was basically an instruction. I mean, and it was a very good and thorough instruction on how we as a chapter ride, not necessarily how you and perhaps another, riding club or an MC, if you're in, how you ride, but this is how we ride, and it keeps everybody on the same page, and it's all about the safety of it. It's all about being safe, because it's hard enough out there with everybody on their cell phones doing everything but driving what they're supposed to be doing. It's hard enough out there, as you, if you're a biker, how just everybody is on their phone and is totally distracted. But this at least keeps us all on the same page, so we can, hopefully avoid anything bad. And I've never been involved in anything bad with the group like that. It's and their history has told them that, knock on wood, that their safety record is perfect. So. So with joining the National Hog, you have to be a National Hog member in order to become a local hog member, and your local hog chapter is basically supported through your dealer. Not every dealer has a hog chapter, but every hog chapter is dealer supported, basically, and they're all different. They're all basically structured the same. There's like bylaws and things that you're supposed to go by, but the activities and times and dates and things are all different. They're all not one hog chapter is the same as the others. So if you're looking to do that, you may want to look around. If you don't find one that's to your liking with people or times or whatever, look around, because there's other ones that and I go. There's 3 other ones that are way closer to the dealer I go with. I've got to go an hour and a half just to go to a meeting or to the dealer, but it's worth it for me. That's just for me because of the people and all that. So, and the time. So everything put together, it just works out for me. So that's my little tidbit of information on that. So we did the group ride orientation, which, obviously gets you on the same page. And then I wanted to go one further. I did the road captain orientation, which then allowed you to, it just further into leading and sweeping a ride, whether it's just for the afternoon or if it's a week. And the road captain is basically in charge and the head of each ride, irregardless of your place in the chapter. If you're the lead of the sweep, you're in charge. You're the one that's responsible, I guess, for making sure all your forms and filings for things are all in place. Your pre-ride meetings, your all that, your route planning, your places to stay. If you're in different states, you're looking at different state laws. You're in charge of notifying all that's in the ride of all that. Pre-ride, like I said, pre-ride meeting. You go over hand signals. You go, irregardless of how many times you've all done it before. It's always good to repeat, and that way everybody's boom. You're starting to focus in on what has to be done. So with the road captain orientation, once you do the orientation, then that allowed you to then, for our chapter, other chapters, you may have to lead and sweep 5 or 10 rides. But in our chapter, the requirement is if you lead and or sweep a ride, you can then earn your road captain rocker patch, your little, and that's I showed you when I was showing you the my cut there, the road captain patch that was on there. But they also give you this. I wanted to show you this. This is, you know, it's signed by the, you can kind of see it, yeah. It's signed by the director, the head road captain, and the safety officer. And it's to certify that I did the road captain, and that I am a road captain for Crossroads Hog Check. So it's kind of a cool thing with you know, it's a benefit, and it's something that's, you know, it's cool to do. It's something that I've always done anyways. I've always, even outside the hog chapter, it seemed like I would always be the one that I was always tasked with planning a ride or a route or whatever, which I loved. Everybody that knows me knows I love maps and love that, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it was only natural that I did it. So to kind of speed this up a little bit, because I don't want to make this too long, last year I wasn't able to do the accident scene management because I was too late coming into it. But this year I started off, I've already done the basic accident scene management, which was a couple weeks ago. In a couple more weeks, I'll be doing the advanced accident scene management. So this is what you receive when you, there we go, see, bystander patch. Okay, you receive this, and then once I do the advanced, I'll get the advanced rocker. It says advanced training on there. So I got that now. So and then at the beginning of May, I'll also be doing first aid CPR training. So part of being a road captain, and you know, especially if you're a sweep, if a rider goes down, you're the one that's going to attend to the person that's down. You're the sweep. You are the, you know, you pick up the pieces, so to speak. You know, if somebody's bike breaks down, something happens like that, you know, everybody keeps going. You're the one that stays behind, and all that kind of stuff. So another thing I mentioned real quick, and this will be it before I go. I mentioned the Iron Butt ride. It's through the Iron Butt Association. You can look it up. Look up online, Iron Butt Association. And we did the Saddle Sore as it's a non-chapter ride, but there was 9 of us from the chapter. And I'll show you pictures, you know, here, there, wherever. In this, I'll edit them in there, and maybe right now, of some of the stops and things of our group. But there was 9 of us that did the Iron Butt, and we left at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning, and our ride encompassed going around. We went down into Indiana, or Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, up through Chicago, into Green Bay, the southern part of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, come down across the Mackinac Bridge, and back to our same starting point, and we got back at 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. We did 1,046 registered and official miles through the Iron Butt Association, documented with receipts, time stamps, the whole deal, through the Iron Butt Association. And not only did we do the Saddle Sore 1000, which is the 1,000 miles in less than 24 hours, but because we did that loop around Lake Michigan, they have all the Great Lakes circled. It also encompassed the Lake Michigan 1000 patch as well. So here's the patches. Let me see here. I'll do this. Here's the Saddle Sore 1000 patch. You only get these if you actually do it and certify it through the thing. Okay, and then here's the Lake Michigan patch. Let me see here. Ooh. If you can see it, that'll go on there. But you're in their records online, and you also get these cool things right here. Now, it's kind of hard to see, but it actually describes, you know, where you were, what you were on, how many miles. This was the Lake Michigan 1000. There's another one here. This has the Saddle Sore 1000 on it. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. So Saddle Sore 1000, and then it's got the same description down here, your basic route and where you were, what kind of bike you were on. So it's kind of cool. It's a cool accomplishment. It's not that easy to do. They've got other ones. We're probably going to do a 1,500 mile one. That's supposed to be, you know, possibly this year. So I wanted to show you that. I mentioned it in the very first introduction video. But while I had a little bit of time before I head off to work, I wanted to go over that stuff as it was top of mind, and I had everything set up here. So I think I'm going to leave it with that. Again, if you like the video, if you want to follow along with my adventures and my goings on, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and you know, two wheels down. Have a good one. Bye.